All right, someone find me an accountant, because right now everyone's making a big deal of the fact that the average tax refund Americans are getting is down close to 17%. That could change, and it's volatile. But I'm thinking to myself, and I'm not an accountant, is that such a bad idea? In other words, you're getting more of that money during the course of the year than at the end of the year or whatever. Positive Financial Karma is a book. Daniel Geltrude, a crackerjack accountant in his own right, has put this together in a way that just makes sense to morons like me. And stepping back, get the big picture. So, Dan, I'm looking at that. I'm hearing what you're saying in your book, that we got to get the big picture right. The big picture on this thing, even though you don't address that here, and though you do address Cortez, by the way, is this notion that it's bad if refunds are smaller. I could turn around and say, well, that means you were getting more money during the course of the year without giving the government an interest-free loan.
That's exactly what I think is going on, Neil. And look, in an ideal world, if you really plan your taxes properly, when you file your tax return, it's a net zero. No interest-free loan to the government. You don't owe anything. You don't get anything back. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. Now, this big deal everybody's making, Neil, about, wait a minute, refunds are going down. This tax law was designed to give people bigger paychecks.
But you live in New Jersey, as do I.
Yes.
And of course, in this area, for people who have to limit their mortgage and taxes, it's going to cost them more. They're not doing it well, and they're finding that out. And you know this as an accountant just now. So they're listening to you and saying, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, and well, look, the tax code picks winners and losers, Neil, and based upon that SALT deduction from high tax states, which you and I live in, I think we're going to be losers, you and I. And I don't like using that term with you, Neil.
But your point is, well, that for those of us, this is tipped to the rich, and all, the reality is not really.
No, it's not. It really isn't, because when you're in a high-tax state, what you have in your state withholding and then real estate taxes, we're #1 in the nation, Neil, New Jersey, for real estate taxes.
Oh, you're right.
We're going to have a sting, and then you've also lost a whole bunch of itemized deductions on top of that. So this is not about the rich walking away.
Wrote this book to cover the higher taxes you're going to have to pay. Right?
I need the supplemental income.
You get into Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I guess around the time she was just elected, it toppled Crowley to become this giant she is. You said that the new Democratic nominee's economic policies are the polar opposite of mine, and I would guess of many Americans. Among her proposals, one really caught my attention: universal job guarantees, many others since then. Then the issue how to pay for it.
Right. Well, where do we get the money from? Tax the rich. That's the answer to everything. But you know what we're seeing? That doesn't work. It doesn't work on a federal level, Neil. It doesn't work on a state level. Look at what just happened in New York. You had Andrew Cuomo going in to see President Trump because this SALT deduction issue is a major one. What's happening? Wealth is relocating. Wealth is mobile, and they will go to where they're going to lessen their tax burden, even if it's an inconvenience. Yeah. They're going to do it.
Your message is what? You just got to use common sense, save what you can, when you can, be on top of that, no matter the age, better, younger. But it's common sense stuff, and it will bite you if you don't do it.
Yeah, and it's only a matter of time, Neil, that, they say the best time to plant a tree, 20 years ago, second best time today. So it's never too late to start doing the right thing financially. It's all about intent, Neil.
I definitely want to get you on the Business Network to go into this in more detail. Positive Financial Karma, Daniel Geltrude, he knows of what he speaks, and he speaks English. Not bad for an accountant. We'll have much more after this.